Pacific Head Coach Keith Buckley. Keith, a tough one to swallow. Team played so well in the first half. Second half, the momentum seemed to change. What was the difference between the first 18 minutes of the game and the remainder of the contest?
Well, I think after sitting and spending a few minutes kind of digesting these first two games kind of collectively and kind of go back to, nobody said this was going to be easy. And we are a young football team that has led for more minutes than we've been behind, and have come away on the short end twice now. And it's something that we are going to have to work very quickly on is finishing football games and doing the same things in the end of games that we're doing at the beginning of games, which has been pretty good to this point. So young guys got to grow up and learn how to finish.
Seems like it hasn't been the technical aspects of the game. The offense is doing its job. The defense seems fairly technically sound. It's been giving up the big plays. It happened against Simon Fraser, happened again tonight.
Yeah, and we've talked kind of extensively with our guys about two things, being field position, turnovers, and then a third part of that is penalties. And tonight we had three kind of uncharacteristic penalties and turned the ball over twice on fumbles that, when you're in tight ball games, those turnovers and penalties really end up hurting. And so we'll go back and we'll watch the game and fix those mistakes and go right back at it and get after Claremont next weekend.
Yet despite that, these guys are still playing 60 minutes.
We are, and that's, again, I always go back to we are a young football team, but we've proven that we can play and we can compete with the teams we're playing against, and so that's raised the expectation level, and these kids want their expectations higher, and we expect to continue to get better and close out games as we move forward.
Focusing on the positives, first of all, T.C. Campbell with another big game at quarterback, well up over 250 yards passing. He's coming through once again. Yeah,
and, aside from one drive in the first half, the defense played well, the offense played well, and we were moving the ball and doing a lot of good things. So there is that positive side to things that we will focus on, but there's that aspect of when you don't win the game, that you got to go back and you got to fix those things, and you got to fix them quickly because you got 7 days till the next game.
Talk to me about the receivers, specifically Jordan Fukumoto with 96 yards. Blake Anthony is a freshman getting out there and doing some great things, 80 yards tonight. Yeah, we're very pleased with the wide receiver crew. We know we've got a deep and talented group at that position, and they have a lot of fun playing, and they're pretty electric when they get the ball in their hands, and that's something that we'll continually utilize throughout the season. Looking ahead to Claremont, they took a pretty good loss to a very talented and up-and-coming Lewis and Clark team. What do you look at going into that game, adjustments going into first road game of the year? Well, the biggest piece is we get to take a smaller group of people down to Claremont. So travel squad wise means more guys that are starters and significant contributors being on special teams. But it's a business trip, and so we get away from Forest Grove, get away from some of the distractions that are around, and go after Claremont. They're a very good football team. They're a tough football team that'll run the option at us, which is a whole new set of challenges defensively. And they got a new staff and a new defensive coordinator, so we don't know exactly what's coming on that end as well until we sit down and watch their game against Lewis and Clark come tomorrow.